did you decide to become an ag banker?
That's a good question, Grant. Honestly, when I first started my college career, I didn't have any thoughts of being an ag banker. I went to Purdue. Somehow the School of Ag drugged me in, and I think I couldn't get the Benton County out of me. You know, my dad was a farmer. He owned a fertilizer and chemical company. When I was a kid growing up, I worked at a couple of local seed companies like most kids did my age. But I thought, this isn't what I want to do later on in life. But as I got older, it just kind of pulled me in, and going back home to Benton County and taking care of those people that helped Benton County farmers. I mean, I felt like I wanted to be a part of it. And I've been fortunate, you know, going on 28 years, that I feel blessed, honestly.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. How about you, Donald?
You know, I think back to my grandparents, both sides of the family farmed. My mom and dad farmed a small farm in Boone County. And growing up, I was always around agriculture. And I remember the summers riding with my dad, taking the yield wagon, as I called it as a little kid, to the fields and doing test plots with all of the farmers that he sold seed to. And just had a great time with that, spending time with my dad and out in the field with these farmers. And then later on, you know, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, going to Purdue also. And although I went through the Krannert School, I ended up in agriculture afterwards, which was great, kind of coming back to my roots and always helping these farmers access some capital, going through their projects together, whether it's a building or a grain bin, or helping them in some way perpetuate their farm for the next generation.
Yeah. Well, for me, so I grew up on a farm in Washington Township, Newton County, Indiana. And really my whole childhood, even into college, all I wanted to do was farm with my dad, my grandpa. And so upon graduation, that's really what I did. So I farmed for a couple years. I had some other jobs, but got into the family farm and worked there. But it was in the early 80s, and anybody that's been in agriculture for a while knows that those were pretty tough times. So I just could never get enough land together to make it on my own. And so it just so happens that one of the lenders I was working with offered me a job. And so I thought, well, I'll do that for a while, but some rich old widow's gonna let me farm her 1,000 acres one of these days. But she never called me. So, but no, I got into that, and then, and again, wanted to be around agriculture anyway, because that's what I knew. Did that and began to get to know, you know, my customers and the people that I was working with, and just being in a position where you can earn their trust, and that they would confide in me, or, you know, anybody that's had a relationship with their banker. And I've just, most of my customers are my friends, which maybe sometimes that's not a good thing, but I love working with them, care about them, care about their families, want to help them grow, do whatever they're wanting to accomplish, and knowing that I'm a little part of that is kind of rewarding. So.